Grand Theft Auto 6 is $100. Don't listen to the grifters who are trying to tell you it's 80. You have to pay the $100 if you're going to get everything in the game. If you're going to get access to every store, if you're going to get access to every mission, you're going to have to pay $100 dues. And right now, you're seeing people like try and bend over backwards and try and say it's not a big deal. They're trying to say that, like, well, Grand Theft Auto is going to be so big, they deserve to charge people more. And it's like, it's just downright pathetic how desperate the industry is to make this game into a success, because we're going into this launch period and you're already seeing people like point out some pretty obvious, self-evident things. It's been 13 years since the last game. People are concerned about the creative leads. People are concerned about how we haven't seen any gameplay. People are concerned about like what the game is actually going to look like. And we're just told over and over again, like, trust me, bro, this is going to be the greatest thing ever. Rockstar is the greatest in the industry. They've never let us down, unless you count, Red Dead Redemption 2 being a complete piece of shit. It is embarrassing to see where we've been for the past like year or so, because we've been told, that Grand Theft Auto is coming soon. It's going to stomp everything else in the industry. It's going to be the biggest video game release ever. And that simply isn't true or possible, okay? Grand Theft Auto 6 is not going to outsell Minecraft, okay? It's not going to happen. It's not going to be some huge giga hit. Like the way things are shaping up now, it seems like this is going to be another Cyberpunk 2077, where the industry is rallying behind it because they need it to do well, because, they're in Rockstar's pocket. Like, they're in the business of promoting this game. It's like they're putting so much money into marketing. Everyone's bending over backwards to hype this up, when in reality, people are playing other games, okay? People are playing Star Fox. They're looking forward to Splatoon Raiders. They're looking forward to Ocarina of Time. Like, Grand Theft Auto 6 isn't even going to be a blip on the radar the way things are going now. Like, what we're seeing is just a bunch of non-gamers coming out and trying to say this is going to be some huge cultural phenomenon, when, like, Grand Theft Auto 5 was not that, okay? Grand Theft Auto at its core is a game that kids play when they want to be edgy, when they want to murder people, when they want to, like, I don't know, like simulate drunk driving, or like, whenever they want to live out their Clockwork Orange fantasies, essentially. They want to get the droogies together on GTA Online, and they just want to cause mayhem together. Like, Grand Theft Auto is not fundamentally a good video game. And this is something that people really need to wrap their heads around, because people are like looking at like their Twitter feeds and they're just like, well, all anybody is doing is talking about Grand Theft Auto 6. And yeah, just like they talked about Cyberpunk, just like they talked about The Last of Us Part 2, just like they talked about Witcher 3. Like, they're not actually playing the game. Now, are they? Like, that's the big difference. Like, and this is something that I do think needs to be addressed more in the community, is how, like, talking about a game online does not mean it's going to be successful or popular, okay? Grand Theft Auto 6 is in the early stages of being a massive disappointment. Like, people are not going to shell out $100 for this game and come away thinking it was money well spent, okay? They're going to come away disappointed. They're going to come away thinking that this was not the game they wanted to play, that this was a huge disaster. Like, Rockstar seems to have believed their own hype, essentially. Like, they really do believe they're the main character of the gaming industry, and that nothing's possibly going to outsell Grand Theft Auto 6. And I'm very curious, like, if this is going to be the release that, like, proves that isn't true. I'm very curious if, like, long-term Grand Theft Auto 6 has this, like, massive downturn of relevancy. I don't think it's going to happen, because I think normies are going to jump in no matter what. Like, I would say, isn't this kind of the Grand Theft Auto equivalent of, like, The Force Awakens? Is kind of the way I look at it, because I think the game's going to sell a lot of units. I think it's going to make them a ton of money. I think people are going to, like, try and damage control it, but I think, like, the actual reception to it is going to be very, very negative. I think people are going to get their hands on this game and realize that, like, holy shit, Star Fox was better than this. Splatoon Raiders was better than this. Like Ocarina of Time was better than this. Nintendo Switch Sports was better than this. Like you're gonna see a really gradual shift where like people who play a lot of games and are honest with themselves will come out and say that like, yeah, Grand Theft Auto 6 is not that good. Again, so many people are hedging all their bets that like Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be a release that's going to be life-changing for them. I'm seeing people like, YouTubers making statements about how like, oh, I'm going to run an economy in Grand Theft Auto. I'm going to have my audience just pay real money so they can like buy nice cars in my server or something. And I'm just like, they're cracking down on that shit. Like they crack down on a lot of like the for-profit like Grand Theft Auto RP servers, which by the way was all of them. Okay, like we're kind of seeing, I think, the end result of Rockstar's bad business decisions. Like this is going to be the evolution of Grand Theft Auto Online success on Grand Theft Auto 5. It was primarily driven by the shark cards, by the microtransactions. Like it wasn't a particularly well-made, interesting game in its own right. And it's very interesting to me to see how people think that like Grand Theft Auto 6 is somehow going to be like this game changer, when I think at the absolute best, it's going to be more of the same. And that's like the best you could possibly hope for. That Grand Theft Auto 6 is just going to be more of the same. Just pay $100 this time, Goy. Just unfucking believable. It's just unbelievable. I am just disgusted, at seeing how everybody else in the community is trying to like damage control this. They're trying to make it out to be as if like Rockstar is winning, or that they're doing something, or that like they're gonna like hit it out of the park, or they're gonna be successful, or they're gonna be the biggest game franchise ever. Like, that's like the big marketing tactic this cycle, actually. Everyone's coming out and they're saying this is gonna be the biggest entertainment release ever. And they're treating it like it's a foregone conclusion. And I'm just kind of like, I don't think so. Like there are just so many mobile games that generate way more than Grand Theft Auto does now. I believe Fortnite's like already bigger than GTA, or is close to it. Pokemon Go made about as much money as Grand Theft Auto 5. Like, I just look at this situation and I'm just kind of like, it's not gonna happen. Like Grand Theft Auto 6 is not going to sell and become the biggest entertainment product ever purely based on brand recognition. It's just not going to happen. And I feel like people are just like very greatly overestimating this brand and its long-term relevancy. Okay, like there is no such thing as too big to fail. And that's something that like I do think American businesses need to understand. Well, I mean, Rockstar is British, but like, this is something that like the gaming industry needs to understand. Because like 10 years ago, nobody would have thought that like PlayStation, Valve, and Microsoft would have completely fallen off and become irrelevant, but they all have. The idea that like Sony and Microsoft were going to drive Nintendo out of the industry just by being bigger corporations, that didn't fucking happen. And I think we're going to see the same thing with GTA. Like, it's like nobody else has noticed what's been happening with all these other too big to fail franchises. How the annual sports games have been ported over, how Call of Duty has finally bent the knee. Like, Grand Theft Auto is next. And like Grand Theft Auto has to be next because there's nothing else that could be possibly ported. Like that's the current situation we're in. That's the problem we're seeing with the community right now, is that like Grand Theft Auto 6 cannot possibly live up to the hype.